Episode 3. Shadows of the Past. The storm outside mirrored the turmoil within the golden circle. Rain streaked the windows of Lila's bedroom, turning the streetlights outside into blurry halos of orange. Her phone screen glowed in the dark as she reread the latest at Golden Secret's post. At Golden Secret's, Ethan spotted leaving Mia's apartment last night. Blood ties are hard to break, aren't they? Her heart pounded as 1,000 questions raced through her mind. Ethan?
Mia.
Why didn't you tell me? She had confronted him earlier, forced him to admit Mia was his sister, but now this post threw everything into doubt. Had he lied? Was there more he was hiding? Her phone buzzed again, drawing her attention to the Circle's group chat. Serena. Care to explain, Ethan? Ethan, it's a lie. I wasn't there. Serena. Of course, because at Golden Secrets just makes things up for fun, right? Lila. Stop it, Serena. We don't even know if this is true. Serena. You're awfully defensive, Lila. Almost like you're covering for him. Lila's breath hitched. There it was, Serena's veiled accusation. She knew Serena didn't like her, but this felt personal. Worse, it felt deliberate, as though Serena were setting her up for something bigger. The chat kept going, accusations flying back and forth. Lila silenced her phone and leaned back against her headboard, staring at the ceiling. She had to figure this out before the Circle's fragile alliances shattered completely, and before she became the scapegoat. Scene 1. Avery's ultimatum. The Circle convened at Avery's mansion the next evening. The house stood like a fortress at the edge of the woods, its grandeur both imposing and isolating. Inside, the air was thick with tension as the group gathered in the luxurious living room. Avery stood at the center, his presence magnetic, his expression unreadable. Someone in this room is feeding information to at Golden Secrets, he began, his voice calm but cutting. And it's threatening everything we've built. Ethan, sitting with his arms crossed, scoffed. And you think another meeting is going to fix that? No, Avery replied coolly. But this will. He reached into his pocket and withdrew a small, ornate dagger. Its silver blade gleamed under the chandelier, and the room fell silent. The blood oath wasn't just for show, Avery continued. It's a contract. Breaking it has consequences. He placed the dagger on the coffee table, letting its presence linger. I'm giving everyone a chance to prove their loyalty, he said, his voice steady but laced with menace. Tomorrow night, each of you will bring a secret. Something real. Something personal. If you don't, his gaze swept the room, landing briefly on Lila. We'll know who the mole is. Serena smirked, reclining in her chair. What happens if we don't comply? Are you going to stab us? Avery? He smiled faintly. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Scene 2. Serena's calculations. Back at her house, Serena paced her room, her bare feet sinking into the plush carpet. The Circle's group chat had quieted down after Avery's announcement, but her mind was alive with possibilities. She opened a private chat with Avery. Serena, don't you think Lila's been acting suspicious? Avery, what makes you say that? Serena, she's too defensive. Too nervous. I think she's hiding something. Avery's reply came slower this time. Avery, interesting. But accusations without proof are dangerous. Serena smirked, tossing her phone onto the bed. She didn't need proof to plant the seed of doubt. Avery was calculating, but he valued control above all else. If she could make him think Lila was a liability, it wouldn't matter whether it was true. She picked up her phone again, this time opening the at Golden Secrets account. She stared at the blank text box, considering her next move. A small, cold smile tugged at her lips. Scene 3. Lila's discovery. Lila couldn't shake the unease she felt after the meeting. Avery's calm demeanor had felt too rehearsed, too calculated. She needed answers, and she had a feeling she knew where to find them. Late that night, she slipped back into Avery's mansion. The house was quiet, the staff long gone, and the rest of the Circle unaware of her presence. She crept through the halls, her footsteps light on the polished wood floors, until she reached his study. The door was slightly ajar. She pushed it open and stepped inside. The room was immaculate, every object perfectly in place. On the desk sat a leather-bound journal, half hidden beneath a stack of papers. Her curiosity burned. She reached for the journal, her fingers trembling as she flipped it open. Each circle member had their own page. Serena, notes about her family's financial troubles and the scandal that at Golden Secrets had exposed. Ethan, a detailed timeline of his connection to Mia, with potential ways to exploit it. Lila, a single word scrawled across her page: isolation. But what truly chilled her was a section titled Plan B. Her heart raced as she read the bullet points. Serena, leak more details of her family scandal to discredit her. Ethan, use Mia's secret to push him out of the circle. Lila, frame her as the mole. Her breath hitched as she turned the page and found a photograph of herself. In the picture, she was standing alone at school, her back slightly turned as though unaware she was being watched. Beneath it, Avery had written, "She'll never see it coming." Footsteps echoed in the hallway. Panic surged through her, and she quickly closed the journal, shoving it back under the papers before slipping out of the study. Her heart pounded as she made her way out of the mansion, the weight of what she'd discovered crushing her. Scene 4. The mole revealed. The circle met again the next night, the air so thick with tension it was almost suffocating. Avery stood before them, his posture relaxed but his gaze piercing. "I know who the mole is," he began, his voice calm but sharp. The group exchanged wary glances. "It's Serena," Avery declared, his gaze locking onto her. Serena's jaw dropped.
"What?"
"That's insane. The first secret leaked was about your family," Avery said. "And you've been trying to deflect suspicion ever since. That's not proof." Serena shot back, her voice rising. "Why would I expose my own family's?" Before Avery could respond, Ethan stood abruptly. "This is ridiculous. Serena's not the mole, and you know it." Avery's eyes narrowed. "Careful, Ethan. Defending her might make people wonder what you're hiding." As the argument erupted, Lila stayed silent, her mind racing. Avery was playing them, pitting them against each other while he pulled the strings. She knew now that Serena wasn't the mole, but Avery had made her a scapegoat. Scene 5. Plan B in motion. In the final scene, Avery sat alone in his study. The journal lay open before him, and he calmly crossed Serena's name off the list under Plan B. Reaching into his desk, he retrieved a burner phone. He typed out a message to at Golden Secrets. At Golden Secrets, tonight was just the beginning. The real game starts now. As he hit send, the camera panned across the room to a large board covered in photos, documents, and red string connecting the circle members. At the center of the board was a photograph of Lila. Beside it was a note, handwritten by Avery. "Isolate.
Break.
Replace." The camera lingered on Avery as he leaned back in his chair, a cold smile spreading across his face. The screen faded to black, leaving only his chilling words hanging in the air. Let the endgame begin. To be continued. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.